on.
Oh, great.
Hey, guys, welcome into Bollocks this evening. Oh, my goodness gracious. The blood pressure's already high in here. Going to be a great show.
Self-inflicted.
No, you started the yelling first. 100% you did.
You are so deranged.
We can go back and watch it on the video. 100%. But
so
we have deranged. I'm not the one with the syndrome. You are the one who's infatuated and have the syndrome, not me. Actually, all right, we have a great show lined up for you. There's a lot of stuff. We're going to be arguing today, so you might want to just dial down the volume just a little bit. Yeah. Act all innocent, you piece of whatever. All right. And we are in the
Bozard Ford Studio.
Damn right we are. Here we go. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free. Stress-free.
I'm fine.
Yeah, fun and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
Experience the art of Italian dining at Saint, nestled in the heart of historic St. Augustine. From handmade pastas to rich risottos and indulgent tiramisu, every dish blends authentic Italian flavor with modern elegance. Sip a craft cocktail, savor seasonal ingredients, and enjoy breathtaking views from their second-floor balcony or rooftop patio where you can take in the bayfront and even spot the lighthouse on a clear day. At Saint, every meal is a celebration. Join us there and elevate your dining experience.
All right, the great people at Hebert, Kresge & Associates for trusted financial guidance with a personal touch. Turn to Hebert, Kresge & Associates CPAs, serving St. Augustine since 1989. With over 150 years of combined experience, their team offers expert services in tax planning, estate and trust work, business valuation, payroll, and more. Whether you're starting a business or planning for the future, they deliver smart, customized solutions that grow with you. Call 904-460-0747 or visit HebertKresgeCPA.com. Hebert, Kresge & Associates, where your success is their mission.
Solar Stick, established in 2006, is a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing. There's a lot of popping peas in that one, too. Constant innovation and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and more importantly, reviving American manufacturing.
There you go. All right, American manufacturing. When the Florida heat hits...
Running out of a labor force, however.
Oh, no, we're not. You need more than AC. You need a neighbor you can trust. That's why St. Augustine has turned to Powell Heating and Air Conditioning for over 40 years, locally owned and operated while committing to keeping our community comfortable. Powell's team is where you need them most. From emergency repairs to energy-saving upgrades, they've got you covered. You are driving me crazy over here.
I'm trying to put the week
What
back
are you
together.
doing? What is he doing?
I'm putting the week back together.
Yeah, but you don't stand up in the middle of the blocking of a shot. Here you are.
Well, the director left.
You
was there
can't
last
smoke
night.
before you come in.
I haven't. I never do.
Maybe you should smoke before you
That's
come
a better
in.
idea. I never do. I respect this job and my city council job. I don't do it.
All right. Powell's team is there. Sorry, Andrew. Powell's team is there when you need them most. From emergency repairs to energy-saving upgrades, they've got you covered. Stay cool. Stay local. Call Powell Heating and Air Conditioning today at 904-794-COOL. That's 904-794-2665. Your comfort is their business. All right, we got other amazing sponsors. Meehan's Irish Pub, A.D. Davis Construction, St. Augustine Distillery, Citygate Spirits, A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing, Anastasia Diner, Moultrie Creek Diner, Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, Anastasia Construction Group. Appreciate every single one of you guys. We really, really do, because we couldn't do it if it wasn't for all our amazing sponsors. And we do have some spaces on Bollocks right now that are available if anyone is out there and wants to participate in the partnership of the 904 now. All right. So should we pull the Band-Aid off now on Greenland?
Up to you. You can wait till Tuesday.
No. Blake put it in the title.
I did.
It's vacation homes, Mr. Real Estate Agent. So yes,
it's vacation homes and Greenland.
I hope there's heating. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Is it vacation homes in Greenland? Is it?
I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was two different topics.
It is vacation homes. It was originally vacation homes in Greenland, but I did change the title under your duress.
Okay. What is the title now, sir?
Genius Savants and the Wager Wire this evening.
Okay, that's where we were supposed to be.
That's right. Now we're back on track.
That's where we were supposed to be.
Right. The Tuesday read is back in the Tuesday read pile.
I think Blake was enjoying our pre-show argument.
Yeah,
a little too much.
But the only issue was I kept asking you, Dad, what was the title for today's show, and you didn't give me a topic.
Sir, I know your Asperger's. I know your Asperger's gives you a tough time with sarcasm, but I thought you at least had picked up on it by that point.
I thought you wanted to argue about Greenland if I'm Mr. Remo.
No, on Tuesday.
No, it doesn't help our ratings.
Right. That's why I've been limited to 1 day a week, and I'm cooperating.
That's why we only do it 1 day a week, and I scheduled interviews when I can.
Right, exactly.
When I can on those.
All right.
Because I don't want our entire audience to turn against Lenny, because you are a lovable guy.
It's true, I am, and 1 out
got-
of every 10 Floridians would appreciate and enjoy me.
1 out of every 10. That's about it. So,
Right.
Well, I'll leave Florida alone for the time being.
Yeah. So,
But have you heard of the Florida Man games? It's there for a reason.
yeah, because we'll kick everybody else's ass.
yeah.
No, you'll kick each other's ass. You're not smart enough to cross the border. You're not smart enough to cross the border into Georgia. You keep it intramural.
Not smart enough to cross. You know why you're in Florida?
Yeah, because
It's better than any other state that you pass. You pass through several, and guess what? All of them are still open, New York boy.
It's starting.
All of them are still open.
It's starting. Hey, hold on. Let's see. Do I have to bring this out now or save it for another week?
Hold on, but Lenny did have to drive on I-95 in South Carolina, though, didn't you, Lenny?
Oh man, 2 lanes, baby. That
It
is
was
not
terrible.
good.
It was terrible.
Florida just happens to rate as the 40th best state to raise a family in the country.
Yeah, and guess what? That was probably taken by a New Yorker.
It was by Wallet Hub. They do all that economic stuff. New York was strangely 6th. Massachusetts first, New York 6th.
That's what I'm saying.
Florida 40.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, right. So you think the thumb was on the scale?
Thumb was definitely on the scale.
Liberal media.
Okay.
So, yeah, thumb was definitely on the scale. So I'll take, in the Florida Man games, I'll take 10 Florida people against any 10 New Yorkers you want to pick.
Oh, I'll take that.
Any 10 you want to pick.
I'll take that.
Because we're going to throw a gator at them, and they're going to go, ah! Because in their mind, they think gators eat people.
Right.
The
fast ones do.
We'll throw a snake.
The fast ones do.
We'll throw a rattlesnake at them, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to fight Northerners.
Okay.
Hit them with their own fears.
And how did that work in the battle for the lost cause?
Well, who had all the weapons?
Thank you.
Who had most of the losses?
I don't know how it balanced out, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was definitely not in the. It was like 3-2. Is what the losses were. Yeah. But then again, at one point, the northern generals were more willing to sacrifice bodies than the southern generals were, because they couldn't give up the equipment. So it had more to do with the generals than the actual soldiers themselves. The northern generals said, we're just going to bust through it.
Okay. On a proportion basis, total deaths 750,000, up from older figures of 620,000. Confederacy suffering disproportionately higher casualty rates, losing 300,000 men compared to the use, which doesn't make sense, 400,000.
Yeah.
So
but of the percentage of their army is what they're saying there.
Right.
Of the percentage of the army. You had more casualties.
We had a bigger army. Right.
But you had twice as big army.
Right.
So, in a lot of the battles, you would win the war and still have more casualties than the South.
Yep, that's correct. And
So-
they lost.
Or you would win the battle. You would win the battle,
Right. Well, those.
but you'd have more casualties in that battle than the actual South. Because the South,
Pyrrhic victory. You win.
Yeah.
You win the victory, and you lose everything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
Right.
Operation was a success.
Right,
but
we lost the patient.
Patient died.
Right.
So, but
Right,
so
Bobby. New York City, take it right there.
what do you say?
New York City or New York State.
They can choose from either way because it's two different breeds of people.
Yes.
So you might need that blend.
Upstate and Western New York are all come down to Florida.
But,
they
but
come down to
also-
Florida for the winter.
South Florida and North Florida, and this year's Florida Man Games is the North-South Florida battle in Bradenton.
Interesting.
So because it's two different breeds of people there too.
You throw in Central Florida, and I put my money on Central Florida.
Well, they got the hybrid. They got the hybrid of both.
Right.
So they got the swamps and they got the high rises.
Yeah, I don't think South Florida is going to be too impressive compared to North Florida.
Yeah. I'm going on my Palaca boys.
Yeah.
If we go to battle, I want some Palaca boys behind me. So or Deland.
There you go. Same idea.
Deland, the two things we learned very young: drinking and fighting.
Okay.
That's not something to be proud of,
Well,
but I'm proud of it.
you see that? Right. All right,
So-
Blake, what are we talking about?
All right, so officially the new title is just Genius Savants and the Wager Wire.
Okay, well, it came up in conversation on the morning show. I don't know
Yeah.
what precipitated it, but I brought up sudden savant
syndrome. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was during our story about
The guy who automatically learned Spanish.
Oh, Spanish every time.
Yeah.
And it was weird because according to that story that Amanda read, it was only when he woke up from anesthesia.
Yes.
And apparently a couple of times. So, once the anesthesia wore off, I guess so did its Spanish. But sudden savant syndrome, which was started being acknowledged in 2001, I thought. I have it over there. Yeah, it was formally described in 2021, but the concept and the term has been around since 1983. And what sudden savant syndrome is, somebody who doesn't have an ability all of a sudden starts to manifest an ability, whether it's a language that they never knew. A lot of it is more musical ability. People who've never had a piano lesson have now become classical composers without having any musical abilities, artistic abilities. And Blake has some pictures for us. I believe.
Is it normally temporary?
Not for these people.
Okay.
No.
So it can
the
stay
the
with
guy
them.
with the guy
So
with
they can-
anesthesia was temporary.
Yeah, and that one was temporary. So I'm just wondering if I can all of a sudden play a piano,
Right.
and then it's going to be gone tomorrow.
I think for some people it does go away, but most of it is not. And it's a neurotypical
That'd be
person
heartbreaking.
to have it and lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It would be Flowers for Algernon.
That's a great book. I love that book.
Yeah, Blake, you know that book?
I love that book.
I have not heard that book before.
Poor little mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, but
and the
but
movie,
he
and the movie,
lost
and the
it.
movie with Cliff Robertson.
Yeah.
Cliff Robertson in the movie.
And then he lost it.
Right.
Right,
And then
yeah.
and then.
All right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. No.
Spoiler.
It definitely is going to.
All right. So that's the picture of. Okay. So that's a drawing by. Here's an example for you. That's a drawing by got him on this page.
Stephen Wiltshire.
Stephen Wilshire. Stephen Wilshire was, and there's a lot of correlation between this and autism, but I'm going to come back to that in a minute because I have a question for
Long.
the two of you.
I can't tell. It's so far
No,
away.
that
Is
could be
Long Island?
Manhattan.
That is Manhattan because the
Manhattan.
base.
So this young man, Stephen Wilshire, was autistic, and he had this ability. He flew over New York City for 20 minutes in a helicopter, went home, and from memory drew the entire skyline of New York City with accurate floors in every building, accurate window counts in every building. And he just sit there and did it, and he'll do it anywhere. If he sees
But there's a
something,
photo of him
he can
drawing it.
replicate
But that's
it.
just being a savant, though. It's
Well,
I mean, that's
Right.
Like
that might be savant
like,
syndrome, right.
Like Rayman was a savant.
well, Rain Man was a gentleman by the name of Kim Peek.
Yeah.
He was the inspiration from Rain Man, and his was different in a different condition because he did not have a corpus callosum. The corpus callosum is a bundle of nerves that lays between your left and right hemisphere of
Yeah.
your brain. He did not have that in his brain, which gave him an amazing ability. First of all, the man had a brilliant memory.
Yeah.
And he would read books. He had 12,000 books committed to memory, including the Bible. He could read 2 pages of a book at the same time. So if your book was open, there he is. That's Kim Peek, and Kim Peek was the model for Rain Man. He was the inspiration for the movie Rain Man.
Yeah.
But Kim Peek would read a book, and he would read the left page out of his left eye, the right page out of his right eye, simultaneously. It would take him 8 seconds to read those pages, and he would have it committed to memory.
Yeah. No, and that's just a savant syndrome.
But he also...
It's different than sudden savant,
correct.
Which is you get in a car accident and all of a sudden you can...
Well, there's 2 of them, right? Yeah. There's sudden savant syndrome, and there is... I got all my notes over here. One's acquired, and one is not. So acquired savant syndrome occurs after a traumatic brain injury or a car accident or hit your head on the ground, and you wake up speaking Spanish, and you don't speak Spanish. Okay? Got to be careful, because if you do that, ICE is going to throw you out of the country.
What I think...
what?
Amanda said somebody came out of surgery with a Chinese accent.
Right, exactly. And this is the original story this morning was the person who woke up out of anesthesia speaking Spanish, and they didn't have a Spanish language.
Yeah,
right.
She was a British woman, and she when she woke up, she had a Chinese accent.
Right. So that's sudden savant syndrome. Acquired savant syndrome is it doesn't have a precipitating incident. It sort of just happens. Most of the disciplines are music, art, mathematics, calendar calculations, which you could give them a date and they'll tell you the day it was in 2000 and BC. You know, you can.
Blake used to be really good at that. He used to say, "Hey, when we did this field trip, and he'd say, you mean on Tuesday, whatever the date was. You don't do that as much anymore."
I unfortunately don't anymore. And
at age 3, you knew every capital of every state.
Right.
So, unfortunately, hanging out with me has
dumbed them down.
Is there one in there where you lose your savantness?
Not so much, but it's interesting because the sudden savant syndrome, you pick it up because of a TBI. If you're just a regular savant, apparently a lot of savants have very low or mid-range IQs. They're not geniuses. There's a distinction between savant and a genius.
Yeah.
A savant is like a one-trick pony, can excel in one discipline as a rule, sometimes 2.
And the misnomer about autism is because of Rain Man, and when the boys were young, it doesn't happen. The awareness of what autism is and the spectrum, and people, Love on the Spectrums actually help people understand a little bit how autism works and the difference between them. One of the first questions I got is, does he have any special skills?
Okay.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
Blake has a very high IQ.
Right.
But I think he just has a high IQ. I don't think it makes him a savant. And people, because Ty's autism's a little more severe, he probably gets that question more than even Blake, because people don't realize Blake's on the spectrum.
Right.
And, they're like, hey, well, does he have a special? No, yeah, Ty gives some great hugs. He's a world-class hugger, which is today.
I think today is
National Hug Day.
Right, exactly. Okay.
Today is National Hug Day.
All right. So a savant is a person of learning, especially one with detailed knowledge in some specified fields. But there's a second definition. A person affected with a developmental disability. And this is what I take offense to, and I don't know if either of you do, because you're calling autism SD, autism, whatever the S is, and I wrote it. What is ASD? It's autism something.
Autism spectrum disorder.
Thank you so very much. That's the right. Or an intellectual disability, and exceptional skills or brilliance in some limited role. Now, I'm kind of. I don't know why I'm taking this personally, but I think that calling autism a developmental disability or autism spectrum disease an intellectual disability, I don't know if that's fair, and you guys would have a better handle on it being accurate.
I think disability is okay. It doesn't make them less.
Right.
And I think people accept, that makes them less. Like, a person in a wheelchair has a disability.
Right.
Doesn't make them less of a man.
Right.
And I think people hear disability and think it's a negative.
Right. That's the word that troubled me.
I think people hear that as a negative. but it is clearly a disability, because it restricts certain behaviors and restricts certain habits. And this is a father's perspective. I'd like to hear what Blake's perspective is on it, if Blake's paying attention to us.
Yes,
Are you
I
listening
am.
to us?
Yes, I am.
All right.
So.
Well,
Right, you guys,
Look,
you're not bad. It's a long day.
all right. Are you offended by the word disability in that?
No, not really for the most part. No, unless if people use it in like the wrong connotation. I would say just simply discussing the fact that I have a disability. I'm fine with that, but saying but to make fun of me and to just say haha.
Yeah, if you're using it in a bully sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great explanation, Blake. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
So, but I think, it is a disability that you have to train for, like people, and I'll brag on Blake. Blake and Ty worked so hard to be where they're at. I mean,
Right.
At age 4, we weren't sure Blake was going to graduate high school, and he's graduated college.
Right.
So, but it was because he worked hard against his disability. He had to work harder than everybody else.
Right.
So, and I don't think.
And I will say, I'm definitely lucky to have you as parents because you helped me go to the programs. Like you got me into IAPs that helped me out, and I did the program. So and there's definitely a lot of parents that are more apathetic about the approach to how keep your kid in line if he does have a learning disorder or has autism or has ADHD. There's a lot of apathetic parents out there.
Well, and ADHD is even a harder one because
Squirrel.
sometimes. Well, it's not just that. There's the anger stimulation when they get overstimulated. They need that dopamine, and now this kid's constantly in trouble, and some of the kids that never got diagnosed are marked as troublemakers, and they're brilliant kids. So I think ADHD, like autism's, I think a little, it's tough for me to say this because I'm biased, but because I know what I'm looking for there, is easier for me to detect than an ADHD kid. Or if it's just a kid being bad.
Right.
Because a lot of times the ADHD side, those quick tempers, those quick angers, is overstimulation
And frustration,
and
I would
frustration of being able. And Ty's stem, when he gets frustrated, in his brain, certain things he can't get out, and he screams, and it scares everybody in the room. And that's when everyone looks, and they, as a parent who's strong with dealing with their kids, I can handle it. But there's a lot of parents that don't understand that that's in his head. It might be 10,000 bees going off in his head.
Right. He's got something to say and he wants to say it.
And it's not coming out.
Right.
And it's like hornets stinging him from the inside. So, I wish there was a way that we could enter into, because Blake's brain works completely different than mine. Ty's brain works completely, Maeve's brain works completely different than mine. I wish there was a way we can just go, okay, let me just get inside there one time,
right.
And hear what they're hearing.
Look through their eyes, yeah.
Because, I've had conversations with Rebecca, who has ADHD, and, I can turn things off where her brain never turns off. Right. And I can't imagine what that feels like when you get overstimulated. And, Blake has an opposite reaction to certain stresses. And, everybody in our family has a different reaction to stresses. And that's, it's like I said, disability, it doesn't hurt unless it's used in a mean way, like any other word. You can call me a ugly son of a bitch, and we'll laugh and hug.
Right.
Someone else says it,
Right.
Someone else says it online, and it's like, man, that hurt my feelings.
The nerve of them. Exactly. Right.
Am I that ugly?
You got to know it's coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
That's the point.
But I
right,
mean,
with them,
yeah,
forget you
yeah,
commenting
yeah.
people.
They don't even know
Not you,
me.
Bobby. Not you, Barbara Jean.
Yeah, they don't know me.
But so they've done a bunch of research onto this, and part of the savant syndrome is a dormant potential, and they call it islands of genius, and they may reside latent in all humans, but are typically suppressed by the left hemisphere of the brain, and if that weakens or they can get it out, all of a sudden these islands of genius pop up, and then you have that ability. There's another one, hemisphere compensation. If the left hemisphere is inhibited, the right hemisphere compensates, releasing a creative or math skills. But they've been fooling around with trying to bring on savantism. So there's induced savantism, and scientists have used...
I asked this question this morning.
Well, I
Yeah.
got you as much as I could in the morning. Transcranial magnetic stimulation to temporarily disable the left interior... I guess that's this one over here.
Yeah.
I went to the right side, of course.
You
Left
talked
anterior
about the
temporal
L's.
lobe. Yeah, I can't use that. It doesn't work for me. In healthy volunteers, which in some cases resulted in temporary boost in savant-like abilities and drawing and estimation skills. So, like, they could say that's 6 inches, or figure out financial problems and math problems very, very easily. But a savant's a person learning with detailed knowledge. A genius is a broad, flexible, exceptionally intellectual person or with creative ability. Savant, as we said, have lower IQs and is more narrow. But there's a bunch of people, and we talked about some of them, but these are some fascinating people. There's a guy by the name of, Daniel Tammet, Tammet.
And the level of genius is by IQ is only 140.
Right.
And I feel like that's very low. Yeah, I was 141, so I could get my.
So was I.
So I
Just
could
over
get,
that line.
So I could get my Mensa card.
Yeah.
And then I took one recently, and I was 138. So I was like, oh crap, I'm getting dumber.
Well, there you go.
I'm getting dumber. So,
Well, I do those, online IQ tests, and it's like, oh, look at the wavy lines, and all the wavy lines match, and then it's 47 questions into it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because it's because at the end they're going to ask you for $25 in a subscription fee anyway.
well, I do the one that says exactly how many questions it was, so my brain is prepared for that.
Okay. Yeah.
So
It's-
it's not an
Open-ended, they just keep going.
infinite
Yeah,
number
yeah.
that you don't know, because obviously your score is going to go down once you get to the frustration level and you're at like 62. But if you know there's only 63 questions,
Right, you can fight it out.
You're gonna fight it out.
Right.
So I mean, and your brain's going to do that to you.
So there's this gentleman, Derek Amato. He hit his head in a pool, and he suddenly saw musical notations as moving black and white squares. And this person who had no musical aptitude before that became a professional piano composer.
Wow.
No prior training. There's another guy by the name of Jason Paget. Following a physical assault, he began seeing complex mathematical fractals in every aspect of life and became a world-class mathematical artist. So it's a little diagram.
So that hit just the right portion of that lobe.
Yep.
That woke that up. That
But
made it fire.
general savantism is rare. It affects 1 million people in the general population of how many people are on the planet?
Yeah.
Billion?
Yeah.
Billion plus?
I think there's like 5 billion.
Yeah, I just keep track of,
Maybe even 6.
I just keep track
Like,
of the U.S. has 330 million, so I get where.
Yeah, see, I mean, but India has like 1.4 billion by themselves.
And China's pretty damn close.
China's
yeah.
right there with them.
Right.
So I think it's 6 billion in the world.
And
Right
only
now?
Yeah.
And only 1 million people have savantism in the general population.
Can you check that, Blake?
Let's see. I'm
50%
checking.
of all savants have an autism spectrum
All
disorder.
right. As of right now, it is 8.27 billion.
Well, you were off.
8.7.
8.7 billion. Yeah.
Stop procreating.
Yeah.
Don't make me get
So
Taylor
we're off by.
Malthus on your ass.
I said 6, so it was closer to 9. So we're off by like 30%.
Yeah. So in case you're wondering right
I
now,
know you're really good
but
with percentage.
yeah, but in case you're wanting a little bit of a tangent right now, currently right now, so far in the year there have been 7.5 million births and so far 3.5 million deaths.
And we're not even a full month in.
No.
Okay.
All right. So
Getting crowded.
So we're gaining ground.
Yep.
All right. Got a question for you, because I just not to name a name, but if you can find the numbers for June or July of 2020.
For
births to deaths around the world.
And while he's doing
if you can find that, I'd like to see what that number was, because we all know what happened then.
Right.
So.
55% of savants have one skill, 45% have multiple skills. Interestingly enough, it's skewed heavily to men. 10 out of...
Well, that goes along with the autism number.
Yes. 10 out of 14 savants are male versus female.
Yeah.
It's usually 4 to 1 or 6 to 1 in the general population. And the average onset of savantism...
That's almost identical to the autism side.
Yeah. And the average onset of savantism is 47 years old. So it comes on later in life. And the most common ability is painting or drawing.
All right. Have you read any stuff by Temple Grandin or
yeah, I know of her. Yeah. And she
watched
is,
any of her stuff
right.
on?
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant. I mean, she's not a savant, but maybe she is.
No, she is.
She
is. She's on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
All right.
And she was listed in this article.
All right, real quick. So June 2020, just for the U.S., it was around like a 0.35% growth. So
0.35.
Yeah.
So, okay. So there was still a growth.
yes.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was that time stuck out. And
Was that post COVID when people were home and had
you
nothing
said
else to
the
do?
word.
Beep.
Can't run from it. Well, someday one of you will explain to me an algorithm.
We have tried, Lenny.
I don't get it.
We have tried.
I don't get it. Well, they'll come rear their ugly head when we get the wager wire too. Those damn algorithms.
We have tried.
I have more respect for bookies in the old days
Did
than I
you
do
not
now.
notice during the time in the questioning, I never mentioned that word?
Eh, well,
I have my button over the censor button now.
well,
Don't say it.
So,
what? You don't have me on a 10-second delay yet? Come on.
so and Blake, I don't know how far these numbers go back, and I'm just spitballing here. I'd like to see what it was like in 1942.
1942. This is only just estimates.
See where I'm going
Yeah,
with the
but-
numbers,
Yeah,
right?
well,
The
no.
closest estimate was 1950.
1946.
The closest estimate was 1950 at 2.493 billion.
That was a growth. That's the boomers.
But that
time.
was
Yes.
world.
And then, so the year that you were born, 1967, it was 3.473 billion. And then for when I was born, 2001, we were at 6.254 billion.
Okay, that's just the raw number,
Right.
The high
That's
number.
the population on the planet.
Okay,
Yeah. So,
so percentage. Okay,
yeah, but
look at
but
the
I was
births.
looking at the percentages of growth.
So let's see. So going from 1967 to 1968. So 1967 compared to last year of 1966, it was a 2.04% growth compared to 1966 with your 3.473 in the year that you were born.
So the growth,
And
growth percentages went down.
Yes.
and I think China hurt that
Yeah. But
quite a bit with their
Yeah.
one
One-child
child
policy.
rule.
Yeah, and so in 2001, when I was born, when the population was 6.254 billion, it was growth was around 1.35%.
China played into that.
Right and
right in the
and
middle of when
in
they had that.
2025, it's 8.231 billion, but yearly change of 0.85%.
It'd be interesting
And
to
I
see.
know numbers aren't great for ratings, but if you look at them by religion
Oh yeah.
and where Christianity and the Muslim population, they're going to pass each other because the Muslims are focused on having
Propagating,
more
sure.
children.
So are the Orthodox
Uh,
Jews.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
I mean, the Orthodox Jews are doing it to survive.
yeah,
The Muslims are doing it ostensibly because they
they're
want to
told,
rule.
They're told to.
Right.
So, all right. Wager wire. It is 5:35. It is time to get to the wager wire. We got to
Get the
talk
important
about
stuff going.
a couple of things, not on the wager wire, but sports. Hall of Fame appointed
Yeah.
two people, two great baseball players. I'm not taking away from their greatness, but I feel like there are other players more deserving that should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not a big fan of this war
Wins
rating.
above replacement.
Yeah, wins above replacement and stuff like that. But Andrew Jones, amazing defensive ball player. Hit over 400 home runs. Struck out almost 1,800 times in his career.
Mm-hmm.
That means 1,800 times he went to the plate to do something and he walked away with a 0. All right? Put ball in play is where I'm at. Carlos Beltran, very similar numbers. I don't think he was as strong as a defensive player. I think he was a little better bat. Won 5 Golden Gloves, like 3 silver bats, silver sluggers.
Mm-hmm.
All-star like 8 or 9 times.
9,
great,
I think, yeah.
Great player, but I'm not sure he's a Hall of Famer in my mind. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean,
he carried the team
both
for
these
a while.
players are better than Harold Baines.
Yes.
Okay.
So
no problem with that.
It's just, I'm not saying they're the worst that's ever been in the Hall of Fame. There's many other players that I don't think are as deserving as these two. So I'm not trying to take anything away from these two. I'm trying to say that there's other players out there that I feel are more worthy. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, I was kind of down on Carlos Beltran, and again, that's because I'm a Mets fan and because we still have that image fixed in our eyes of him just standing there with the bat on his shoulder, taking a called third strike that would have put the Mets into the playoffs or into the World Series. And it's hard to
He
forgive
struck
him for
out
that.
1,800 times.
Well, but he also
That one just is really stuck with you.
Well, yeah, that one in particular. Well, that was right. That was a game winner. That was that was the final play, the final out. But Beltran's got some. He's in a very exclusive club, believe it or not, with some very wonderful players. Willie Mays, Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, Andre Dawson, 400 home runs, 300 stolen bases, 500 doubles. So he's in some pretty impressive,
At any point would
company.
you consider him the best player in the league at any point during his
Carlos
career?
Beltran.
Beltran? No.
No, not at all. I don't think so.
Yeah,
Same with
because
Andrew
because if you look at his best years, which is like around 2006 to 2008, he was in the National League with Albert Pujols. You can't really say.
Yeah, no,
But you're also doing
but
cumulative numbers. I mean, the Hall of Fame is not a spot shot. It's not a snapshot.
But,
it's a photo album.
but then is that the issue
Well,
then
then
with Dale
Koufax shouldn't be
Murphy?
there.
Okay.
Is it?
He was by far the most dominant pitcher, left-handed pitcher in the National League for 6 years.
Yeah.
If we go with it being, it's just very, very much, and this is by the sports writers, and there's other media people that get to vote on this. I do not get to vote. You do not get to vote.
No.
Maybe someday
Blake will.
Maybe
Right.
someday
We
Blake
get
will
Blake
get
up there for
Maybe
sure.
someday Blake will get to
Yeah.
vote.
More media credentials, hopefully.
But I look at Koufax. Koufax is great, but if you tell me it's because of a long career, which is a Fergie Jenkins, Harold Baines type situation,
Well,
that they're not in the same category as Koufax.
some players get there on just some
All right.
undeniable talent and ability, and some people get there on longevity.
All right, then Lenny, I do want to ask you then about because my dad kept bringing up Sandy Koufax. Then what's your thoughts about Johan Santana? Like because he had 2 Cy Young years, probably should have had a third one. If the throws focus more on like pitcher numbers than pitcher wins. Like he was really good for like a great time and also had some good few years with the Mets, and just unfortunate that injuries cut his career short.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's so subjective. Guys like the ones that really stand out to me, because this is when I was playing ball, and the guys that Don Mattingly, he was an absolute beast.
Right.
His team didn't win. If he was on a Yankee team that won 3 or 4, Don Mattingly would have been a shoe-in.
Yes.
And he would have been in the Hall of Fame. All
Yeah.
right? But he was on probably the weakest run
Of the
of Yankee
Yankees.
teams, in our last 50 years.
Yeah.
Dale Murphy. He never really was on a long playoff run team.
Right. The Braves
He
were
was
good.
he
then.
was by far for those 2 seasons the best player in the league. He won just as many Golden Gloves as Beltran did. He won more silver bats than Beltran did. He won MVPs and scored higher in 3 other seasons, higher than either one of those guys did in their entire career on the MVP side.
Right. Look, I'm not sold on Carlos Beltran. I told you I wasn't voting for him personally, but when I look at his numbers, they're legit.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, you hit 434 home runs, and you have
300 stolen bases,
9
500
All-Star
doubles,
games,
right?
All these things. If it's a checkoff list on the resume, yeah, okay, he's in. But as a team leader, as a guy that's like, this is the best player in the league, I never looked at Beltran that way.
No, nor I.
I looked at him as
was good,
wow,
but
And Andrew Jones was never the best player on his own team, not once. There was always, and I don't mean he was second.
Andrew Jones surprised me.
I don't mean he was second. Andrew Jones could possibly be the best defensive outfielder I've ever seen. And a lot of people don't see it. But if you look at where he started and where he caught the ball easily.
Oh, he was a great defensive outfielder.
His instincts, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to say his instincts on getting a jump on a ball is better than anyone else I've ever seen in my 58 years.
All right.
10 gold gloves.
I want your thoughts real quick about Don Mattingly because he did win an MVP though.
Mm-hmm. He won a batting title.
Yeah.
He won an MVP.
Donnie Baseball.
Right. I said, he was the best player in the American League, in my opinion, for about 6 years.
I'm going to say no.
Who do you think was better?
Ricky Henderson.
No, absolutely not, Blake. They're not even close. And Henderson brought a component to the game, but Don Mattingly was a team leader. Henderson was never really even liked by his own teammates.
Yeah, he was playing cards.
He was no. It's not even. They weren't even close.
Oh yeah.
If you were going to start a team and you're GM, Ricky Henderson was a great player, deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because of the numbers he put up, and amazing leadoff guy. But Don Mattingly between 83 and 89, maybe even 82 to 88, just put up amazing numbers. One year he hit 343 on a terrible team and led the league in RBIs. I mean, Donnie Bates and a much better fielder than Henderson.
But
Henderson was not a great fielder. Henderson was great at throwing people out because he got a good jump on a ball, on a base hit to him. He got to the ball faster. He threw him out with his feet, not his arm.
But then the asterisk is okay. So Don Mattingly led the league in RBIs, but who was mainly on base at the time though for Don Mattingly?
Right. Who led the league in runs?
I don't think he was on that Yankees team.
He was
in '83.
In 85,
85.
When he won his MVP, Ricky Henderson scored like 146 runs.
Yeah. So, and they still didn't make the playoffs. So
97 wins didn't get you anything.
Yeah, they still didn't make the playoffs. So I mean, they would have made the playoffs with the wild card today.
Yeah,
but they didn't make the playoffs at that point.
All right, here real quick, Don Mattingly and Ricky Henderson. So. Don Mattingly had a 324 batting average, 371 slugging on base, 567 slugging, and with 35 home runs and 145 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. Mm-hmm. Henderson, 146 runs scored, 314 batting average, 419 on base, 516 slugging, 80 stolen bases, 72 RBIs.
So somebody other than Mattingly drove in Henderson once.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all of Henderson's, all of Mattingly's RBIs were Henderson scoring the runs.
Well, he hit 35 home runs, so he counted for 35 of his own.
Right, and how many of them were leadoff home runs, by the way?
Yeah. So, I think one of the funniest stories, and I think I've told you guys this story about John Olerud.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
he got plenty of his rookie cards. They were going to be worth something.
So John Olerud played on the Blue Jays with Henderson. And I think he played on the Yankees. He played on 2 teams with Henderson.
He told the story,
And you remember the story, Blake?
Yeah, I remember you telling me this story.
Ricky Henderson went up to him and went, "Hey, I used to play with a guy who wore a helmet." And Olerud wore the helmet because he had a
steel plate.
he had a head injury.
Right. He had a metal plate in his head.
Yeah. And Ricky didn't even recognize the guy. He played 2 seasons with at another. I mean, 2 full seasons. It wasn't like it was a cup of coffee.
Right.
2 full seasons.
And he was the first baseman for the team too.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I don't
So-
think
all
it was
right,
third base.
so-
at the time.
Here's my
Might have
other
been
thought
third
about
base.
the Hall of Fame, and then we're going to move on. And I've said this before. The guys who got caught after 1999, when they changed the rule and they started doing the mandatory testing and all that stuff, should not be in the Hall of Fame. If you did not get caught for that, because they didn't test before that,
Right.
and I'm talking about guys like McGuire, guys like Bonds that saved the game. Now, A-Rod, you're out. You got caught after.
Yeah.
Manny, you're out. You got caught
Yeah,
after. Raphael, you're out. You got caught after the fact.
Manny's officially done on the ballot. This was his 10th year on the Rise ballot, so
So he's out.
Who's
So
that?
I mean,
he's
Manny
done.
Ramirez?
But
Manny Ramirez.
and Clemens never got caught. I mean, and all these guys were great before steroids really were even a thing. And steroids wasn't illegal and wasn't tested until that time.
Right.
So there's I mean,
All right.
they're kind of guilty by association and not by any proven point, even though we all know they were doing steroids. But there are people that are in the Hall of Fame right now that did steroids.
All right.
Sure.
And do you also think like Clemens and Bonds being assholes are?
It completely hurt them, but I mean the steroid thing killed them. Yeah, I mean they weren't liked by the media.
If they were like Make
Eddie
a
Murray in
Wish,
the Hall of
like
Fame?
Yes.
And he never talked to the press.
Yeah.
And he didn't talk
So
to
does
the press.
Steve Carlson.
Right. Well, yeah.
and Jeff Kent, but Jeff Kent though didn't talk with the media and gets got voted in by the committee.
Yeah. You know my feeling on
That's
Jeff
another
Kent.
one that's a marginal guy.
Yeah.
But he won an MVP.
He did, but kind of like, but who was the
won it
best
because
player
he was
on the
getting
team?
all the best pitches.
Yeah,
Because the best player in the league was hitting right behind him
yeah,
or in front of him. I can't remember which.
Yeah, all right.
He was hitting in front of him. Jeff Kent was getting all those RBIs because the guy in front of him, he won the MVP, and the guy in front of him led the league in intentional walks.
Right. He was on base all the time. Right.
Here's an interesting stat I'd like you to check. Can you check? I think it's on the whatever the stat references. You'll be able to find this, Blake. Check how many intentional base on balls Beltran had in his career, and how many intentional base on balls Andrew Jones had in their baseball career, and then check on Dale Murphy, or somebody, or a Mike Schmidt, or somebody that is comparable in the in that realm. Because I think the numbers that shows you the fear of the other team.
all right, I got the
Nothing
numbers.
shows the fear of the other team more than an intentional base on ball.
All right, I got the numbers here real quick. So in 2,586 games for Carlos Beltran, he got intentionally walked 104 times.
Okay.
And then in 2,196 games, Andrew Jones got walked 69 times.
All right. Now go to we can pick the two that I said already, Murphy and Mattingly,
Got it. All right.
and then go to Bonds, which will blow everybody away.
All right,
Yeah, I mean,
in
these guys
2000,
barely
all
got
right,
walked.
here we go. In 2,180 games for Dale Murphy, he got intentionally walked 159 times.
Okay.
That was Dale Murphy.
That was Dale
Okay.
Murphy.
So that's more than the two Hall of Famers, the
All
two
right.
new Hall of Famers totaled.
Exactly.
And then
And he played less seasons
All right,
than those
and
guys.
then for Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, in 1,785 games, he got intentionally walked 136 times.
So he's more than them in almost. I think he played 14 seasons. These guys all played like 18 or 20.
And then for Barry Bonds,
Barry Bonds.
in
let's hear what he-
2,900,
I think he got that in one season.
in 2,986 games, he got intentionally walked 688 times.
That's crazy.
And
And the
and,
two
and,
of
and,
these
and,
guys-
the record was 120 in 147 games.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because
120.
Jones and Beltran totaled 100 through their career
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Jones only got 69, but
Right.
that's why I'm saying that shows the fear of a hitter.
Right. So nobody's afraid of Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, or Andrew Jones.
Andrew
They're
Jones,
pitching
especially.
Well,
They're
Beltran only had 31.
Oh, I thought he said it had 108.
Who?
No.
How many did you say Beltran had intentional walks?
31.
31 in his entire career.
No.
Okay.
In intentional walks,
Yeah.
that is 104. Yeah, I believe in 2,586 games.
Okay. Yeah, no. His AI, I think, is lying to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at
Yeah. I think your AI is.
Baseball Reference, the best.
Yeah. If you go to.
Lions Sports Bureau.
Yeah, baseball reference. There you go. There it is, 103.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So.
And Jonathan Jones also had 103 there.
I don't think that's.
No, that's a lie. That's 69.
Yeah. I think the AI.
AI sucks, Lenny.
The AI is really. But baseball, when you look up stats that's been the most accurate, it's baseball reference stats.
Yeah, Baseball Reference
Lions
is.
Sports Bureau.
I'm not. I don't know.
I believe the best thing to go is to actually go on the websites themselves instead of just doing like the Google AI first thing most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
But
Okay.
the reference stats gives, I think, the best that I've seen. Because I was a stat. I mean, you were a stat guy. We were all stat guys.
yeah.
We were all box score guys.
Box scores for sure, but I don't remember. But now that I can allegedly look it up and get a correct answer,
Yeah.
which apparently I can't,
Yeah.
and I can't keep a batting average in my head. I never could.
All right.
But yeah, box scores. I love box scores.
We got 4 minutes left before we need to get out. So real quick.
Football is coming soon.
Football championship games. What we got?
As of now, the Pats are 5.5-point favorites, and the over/under is 42.5. The Rams are getting 2.5 from Seattle, and the over/under there is 47. And I have a question for you, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
The line on Matt Stafford rushing is a half a yard, over under a half.
Okay. You almost got to play that.
Well, but think about it, because I would take the over on that, except if the Rams are winning and they need to kneel down at the end of the game.
He loses 3 yards.
1 yard to kneel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loses 3 yards.
He loses 1 yard every time he kneels down. So if he had 2 yards and he kneels down twice, he's back to 0. I looked to see if he can make money on that. I went, and I looked back at his last games, the last 4 or 5 games. 0, 1 yard, -3.
They know what they're doing.
-3.
Yeah, these guys
what's
are-
these algorithms?
these
What
guys-
happened to the licking the pencil and writing it on a piece of paper?
They know what they're
Yep,
doing.
yep.
All right. I'm going with the Pats, and I'm gonna give up the points, and I'm gonna take the Rams getting the points.
Okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing Puka Nacua and Jackson Smith-Nagoba go head-to-head. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, sir.
Yeah.
Going head-to-head in the game. But it's tough to make any money on them, and the fact that they're so good
Their
that the
numbers are
odds
up
are
there.
so low.
The numbers are up there.
Right,
Well, the numbers are up there, and to get the odds to come towards you, you got to give up so many yards that it's.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you got
so-
to get them both to. I mean, you can maybe get a positive number with JSN on 100 yards or 80 yards, but you need. I think Puka Nacua is over 100 yards. You can't even get him with 8 receptions. You got to go for 8, 9, 10, 11 receptions.
My picks are on the quarterbacks. I think Stafford's better than Darnold, and I think May's better. I don't even know who they got playing. for the
Jared
Broncos.
Stidham.
Jason Stidham.
Yeah.
Got 4 starts and he's 1-3.
You can't bet on that. I mean, I can't. I can't. Even
And
though
the Denver's defense is good, but the New England offense is also.
Are you giving up the points with the
Well,
Patriots?
Yeah, I'm thinking
I
about
think
it.
the Pats are going to cover.
Yeah.
All right. We only got 2 minutes, so
I'm
you gotta think fast.
taking the Pats, and I like the Rams, but it wouldn't surprise me to see it. I'll take the Rams because Matt Stafford is tough.
Blake, who you got? It was 2 games.
I'm gonna go with the Rams for because I personally believe that Matt Stafford's gonna win the MVP when it comes to Santa Clara, and then also I'm gonna go with the upset. The Broncos win.
You're taking the Broncos on the field.
At home, they're home.
They are home.
Tough defense.
Altitude
Give me
sickness
this.
is
Give me
real.
this space. No, but you'll be the genius of the room. You'll get the trophy if that comes through.
There you go.
Hey guys, it is trivia night. You gotta go pick up your beautiful wife.
I gotta get my team.
We gotta get to trivia tonight and get set up. We gotta go down and get 1 car. So you're gonna beat us there, baby. All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate our sponsors. Get out there and support us. This is Bollocks this evening, and we'll see you
See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Yes, tomorrow.